right, have and have not fans. Now, I did a video about a week or so ago in regards to, what do you think, what kind of mischief, what kind of blackmail, what kind of schemes could Candace Young get into if she went into the White House as first lady with Charles if he became president of the United States? And I said that that video was pretty much just a way to gauge the audience on what kind of thoughts what she can do if she became first lady. And I was going through the comments. There were only 10, but they were really good ones. And to be honest, because those comments were so detailed, I'm going to break this up into 3 videos. And this first one is going to talk about Chandler's thoughts about, one of the worst things or best things she could do as a way to get revenge on people. That was one big thing that I thought a lot of people would comment on, is if Candace Young became first lady, what could she do to get under the skins of the haves to get revenge on them? And I thought the biggest thing out of all the comments was, what if Candace Young, as first lady, talk with Charles and whatnot to pass pass some kind of laws which really went towards like the what was it? Dang, I'm sorry, I don't know the abbreviation off the top of my head, but the homosexual community in terms of like gay marriage and whatnot, just to get under Veronica Harrington's skin. I feel like that would be the biggest middle fingers to the Ice Queen herself if like people who are abuse gay people or disown them or something along those lines, they are put under arrest or punished or something like that. That would be incredible to see, because I know for a fact that, being Candace Young, she would personally make sure that Veronica Harrington is #1 on that list of targets and use her as an example. Because in real world, they are like I remember recently, what was it, that one bakery, they make like cakes or whatnot, and there was like a gay couple that came in there to ask for a cake to be baked for their wedding, and they were refused service, and I think the company lost or sued was $200,000 or something like that, or fined for discrimination. I'm not talking about my stance on that case, but it was one of the real world events that I could think of in regards to this have and have not scenario. And to be honest, I mean, that would be very interesting to see, because it could be a foreshadowed statement where, remember where Benny got arrested by Secret Service, got arrested and then was being held by Secret Service because, one minute a normal cop would come into the room, the next minute Secret Service would come into the room. And then when Veronica was in there, he was under the assumption that she arranged all this just to get back at her, because those two kind of broke off whatever kind of fling they were having. And then Veronica was like, oh, honey, Secret Service, I could pull off a lot of things, but even I can't do that. So I think it would be pretty interesting if Candace in the White House did something like that to screw over Veronica. And that's a power she has. Nothing she can, no card in her deck she can use to go up against it. And I think this would destroy her public persona, which she knows, we know as a fan base, she does not like tarnish, because I think Jim or David said that, one thing Veronica can't stand is being embarrassed. So, she's going off on David about, the divorce papers and whatnot and all that being in the newspaper and whatnot. So to have a country as a whole know that she's against homosexual marriage and whatnot, especially with her own son, that will be interesting. Because I remember the press conference where she put on the facade of being for everybody being treated equal and happy, because if I'm not mistaken, she didn't outright say that she was for gay marriage. Or let's say if a guy was in a hospital and his fiance, being a man, was wanting to see him, he couldn't do it because he was gay. Veronica kind of danced around the question, because I believe Landon set it up for Veronica to take the fall, and the person asking the questions, she thought it was a sir, but it was actually a man. But she rose above that and was finally able to make it out of that scenario. So for her to come across on national TV as somebody who was for, or being an advocate for, like, equal rights, to have her being a spotlight as public enemy #1 for doing all of these disgusting things, like forcing her son to be straight, having him being forcibly married to a girl, purposely getting them impregnated, that would just destroy her there's no way to come back from that. So I feel like Chandler made a very good point, and that's why this is his own video as to Candace Young passing some sort of, law against, gay homosexuals being harassed or something along those lines. I could see that happening, and there was no way that Veronica could recover from that. So with that being said, maybe this video will spark some more interest in this topic. Are there any other revenge plots that Candace Young could use Charles for in order to get revenge on the Habs? Let me know in the comment section below, and please subscribe for new video content very soon.